I would have thought you would have figured all this out before. Bring the AC remote. Where is she? Right, where's Patricia? Have you let her in?
Yeah, everyone.
Call Evelyn. She can't afford to be away. She's coming.
Evelyn. Evelyn.
Hello.
Video.
One person. How does this come on then?
It's already live.
Yeah. So where is the person waiting?
The person is already with you.
Hello.
Commented. Hi.
No, maybe she doesn't want to talk.
Yeah. No, it's just typing.
She can hear me. Okay, Patricia, you can hear me. Okie dokie. Looks like it's just you and me so far. Do you want to send the comments or are you going to talk?
The numbers are already there, so if she wants to talk.
Where are the phones then? I don't know how to live talk to you. So say, okay, can you hear me, Patricia? Just put yes or no. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. So I don't know what you are supposed to do. This is the first time I've done a live stream. I have a young man here who helps me with technical things. Do you have any idea what Patricia should do to come on?
The numbers are there. Each wants to call through WhatsApp, FaceTime.
I think you have to actually call through FaceTime, WhatsApp, or Messenger. If that's too, because these are all online ways of connecting without running up your phone bill. If that is difficult, then fine, we can communicate in writing.
The numbers are
the numbers are on the video description below the video, yesterday's video. Okay, below today's video. What's today's video?
Sorry, this live stream. The numbers are.
Okay, so the numbers are here. Okay, fine. What is the link on Messenger? You don't need a link because you and I are already Facebook friends. You can just type my name into the search box in Messenger and then you'll be able to connect. Another thing is if you give me your, let me see if I can get you. That might be possible. Hold on. Patricia. I'm so bad with technology, so, you know. It says, there's quite a few here. It says, good morning. How can I, okay, fine. Right, let me see if I can get hold of Patricia via Messenger. Patricia. Oh dear, let's have a look. It's not coming up. Let me try. It could also be the internet connection. Could also be
5 views. We have people that are watching.
Sorry, Patricia. I'm trying. I'm trying to connect to you.
It's calling. It's calling.
Oh, great. Hello. Hello. It's the internet. It's not connecting. It's the internet. It's not very strong. This is always the problem with Nigeria and anything technological. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, yay, at last. I thought the internet I thought the internet was going to totally screw me up. How are you?
Hi, Daniel. Can you see me?
I can.
Holy cow.
I know.
Look, I'm 68 years old, so I'm no good at this.
I know, me neither. Me neither. I mean, I just thought it would be nice to hear a few people's voices on this very. Thank you so much for.
So I have an electrician coming at 11, which is 5 o'clock your time. So
Okay.
I'll have to hang up then, but I wanted to at least log in, and I'm going to apologize in advance because I have 2 Labradors, and if a pussycat walks by the window, they go crazy.
Well,
I apologize in advance if that happens.
okay, so it says, hold on a minute. Hi, John, you can't stay and listen as it would. I'm just looking at messages that are coming up, which if you'd left it alone, I'd have been able to read it. Oh, never mind. Message deleted by Don Roosevelt. Hello, sorry, Patricia. Just please stop touching the screen, okay?
No problem.
No, not you.
First time we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be patient.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. We'll be patient. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking at you.
Can you see me?
I'm talking to you on my iPad. I'm logged in both ways.
Okay. Fine. So where are the messages? I'm just looking. There's somebody who sent a message and then it was deleted by my assistant. Anyway, so Patricia, lovely to see you. Lovely to catch your face and hear your voice.
Same to you, but I already know your voice because I watch your videos all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, which I love.
Thank you very much.
I love your perspective. I love your wisdom, your personality. Strong woman, just obviously brilliant, educated. I love what you have to say.
Thank you.
And you know, I think I've been exposed to a lot of. You've opened my eyes to some degree.
Thank you.
My only experience with Nigeria before that is, you know, I've told you before, we fix airplanes and helicopters, and our company tried to come to Nigeria to do some work for, I think it was Bristow Helicopters, but it was so hard to get into the country. They ended up removing their helicopter engines and shipping them to South Africa.
Oh, wow.
We were able to get in there. So we actually worked on them. But we tried to come to Nigeria, but it took months and we finally gave up.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But then again, I'm not surprised.
So I hate to say this, but Meghan Markle is the reason I found you.
Well, that was the reason a lot of people found me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So hers and Harry's trip to Nigeria, and the panels of Nigerian women, both in the UK and in Nigeria, that because I watch YouTube a lot, I found discussions, and that's how I found you. You're I've been watching you almost since you started.
Thank you.
The Saturday show.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's, so it's very interesting and compelling. And I just love everything you have to say.
Thank you so much. So what do you have to say about assisted dying?
So, I would say that comfortable having a government politicians or judges or whatever to make decisions about the life and death. So I don't think we need a law for that.
No.
I could be wrong.
No, I think I agree with you. I've done a lot of thinking about this subject. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just know that a lot of the politicians that run our government and other world governments are not trustworthy. They're not anybody that I certainly want to put my life decisions in.
Okay. Exactly. You wouldn't want to put them in charge of such important decisions. Personal decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my husband and I both have written living wills and directives and all that stuff in place, executed by an attorney, and they're on file at the local hospital or whatever. So we already have the power to make decisions based on what we've told each other that we want. So I don't see any need to get government involved in this.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know. We've had some very bad cases that went on. There was a young lady that was in a euphoric state or whatever for years, called Terry Schiavo, whose husband wanted to get remarried and was spending all the settlement money that she got for whatever on his new girlfriend and kids and all that type of stuff. And he chose to remove her feeding tube and let her die. And the process took forever. And that government was involved in that, and judges were involved in that, and the parents were trying to save her life, because I'm not sure how she came to be in the state she was in, and whether her husband did something to her, or she did a drug overdose that fried her brain. I'm really not sure, but it was really uncomfortable to have families battling it out like that in front of the judge, and ultimately the judge let the husband kill her, and it took 2-3 weeks before she starved to death. And the dehydration, I mean, they removed all sustenance and support. I'm very uncomfortable with anyone dying like that.
Sure.
So it's a very sticky thing, and isn't it up to God?
Well, that's what a lot of people say. Probably the view of most people in less progressive countries like Nigeria. But even
what do you think?
Well, I agree with you. I know from my experience with my mother that I would have liked to liberate her from the suffering she was going through at the end of her life. And I know that if I was in that situation, myself, I would like to be liberated from the pain and the humiliation. Because remember, with dementia, it's not just physical symptoms. In fact, it's not really physical symptoms at all. It's primarily mental symptoms, the humiliation of being heavily dependent on other people for day-to-day stuff like going to the toilet. I definitely wouldn't want to go through that. But I think at the end of the day, it's God's decision to make. I think that's the conclusion I personally have come to. And if as a result, people like my mother or myself in future suffer a lot of pain or embarrassment, it's just one of those things, unfortunately. But I'm sure in the middle of it, I would be begging people to help me go.
Yes. So I think Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis actually had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yes.
And I think like the day of her death or the afternoon before her death, she took a last stroll around Central Park with her grandchildren and that Maurice Templeman, who was her
lover.
companion, and then Yeah, but she was set up with a clicker thing to overdose on, I think it was morphine. But she made that decision. I mean, they had it all set up, and obviously she needed doctors to prescribe medication. She had to acquire all that, but she made the decision to do it because she was suffering. So I understand what you're saying about your mother. I have a sister right now who has really gone through a lot of cancer recurrence. She fell and broke her neck. She was in a medically induced coma for months. I mean, she's only a year older than I am, and I swear she looks like she's 30 years older than me.
Right.
I mean, but she's in a lot of pain, and in fact, her doctors are amazed she lived through the broken neck because the break was as bad as Christopher Reeve, the Superman, that was paralyzed the rest of her life. She's not even paralyzed, believe it or not. But I just think that the last 3-4 years of her life, she has really been suffering. And she says, I don't want to live like this. And I mean, how do you encourage somebody who's suffering?
Well, right? Exactly.
It is humiliating. At some point, she was wearing diapers. We were changing diapers. We were feeding her. We were,
Sure.
She's better now. She's better now, though. So if we hadn't done all of that, then she wouldn't be better now.
Sure. Some people do improve. I mean, for some people, the pain the situation improves. But for most people, it's a downhill all the way till they finally go. Let's see what other people think. And please let me apologize to everybody. I managed to connect with Patricia with great difficulty. I don't know if other people, because I could see there were 7 other people 5 minutes ago. Now there are 5. It goes up and down. So what happens? Patricia connected with me by calling me on Facebook Messenger. If anyone else would like to try that method, or to call me on the numbers on the announcement, that would be helpful. But if you would prefer to communicate in writing, I will check for your messages. Okay, maybe some, because apparently the first one we deleted because it said deleted by Donny's World. Okay, so there's 4 people waiting. Let's see. No. I'm sure that some of these people are trying to communicate in writing or by calling, but they're not having any luck. This is really unfortunate. I don't know if it's me or if it's just that the technology is lousy.
So what I did, I found you on Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
And then I hit the phone icon to call you. That's how I connected with you.
Right.
I found your Facebook identity on Messenger, and then clicked on that, and then your name came up and your page came up for Messenger, and I hit the phone button and it called you.
I think the reason why that was possible for you and me, Patricia, is that we are Facebook friends.
Right.
I think if someone is not my Facebook friend, they won't be able to get me on Messenger, or I don't know, maybe they can. Oh, my assistant says anybody can. You don't have to be my Facebook friend to get me on Messenger. But people, we're down to 1 person, so maybe we're looking at people who are frustrated and leaving because they cannot get through. No, this is so frustrating. You know what I'm going to do?
It is.
What I'm going to do is, I hate messing around with things that aren't working properly. I give up very easily when I'm faced with chaos or failure. This is one of the reasons why I'm still overweight. But anyway, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say that it's nearly 4:30 Nigerian time. What's the time where you are, Patricia?
We're 6 hours behind you, so it's 10:25 a.m. here.
Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm going to say, okay, it's been great talking to you. Patricia, we can always talk anytime now that we know how to connect without running up huge international phone bills. Anybody else who's having problems reaching me, can you please send either a text message to this live chat? There is a box for written messages, or look at YouTube, see if anybody's on YouTube trying to get me. There's nobody, right? Okay. Oh, okay, so those are the people. So how come it doesn't show you? That's why I said we should use the laptop. None of these things are showing on the iPad.
It's meant to show you if the comment.
That was my husband who just walked into the room. Didn't realize we're live.
These are old comments. She said, I am here, yes. I can hear you too. These are old comments.
Okay, I'm sorry, peeps. It's not working. I'm not able to interact with anybody except Patricia. So until we perfect this technology, we will try a live stream again, maybe about this topic, maybe about another topic. But I need to go back to the drawing board, and I apologize to anybody who's taken the trouble to sign in but not being able to connect. Maybe some of you signed in but didn't want to talk, you just wanted to listen. Maybe we've not failed. Can you please go to my YouTube page for yesterday and send me a message telling me if you tried to speak to me but could not connect verbally through any of the phone numbers or Messenger or FaceTime audio, or if you tuned in and tried to listen in, and tell me if you were able to hear me and Patricia talking, or if you tried to listen but you couldn't hear properly. I won't be able to improve this whole thing until people tell me what their experience was. Okay. Stephanie Barrett says, I'm seeing some written messages here. Stephanie Barrett says, it's clear that my assistant doesn't want me to think about how the vulnerable could be abused. Well, Stephanie, I think that this issue of abuse of the vulnerable is a very critical part of the assisted dying debate. And that's why some people are saying that they absolutely do not want this law in the United Kingdom to go through. Patricia, perhaps before we sign off, you can tell me whether this law exists in any of the American states. Because when I remember clearly what you said about Jackie Kennedy Onassis, basically releasing herself with medication she'd clearly been provided with. Was that official or unofficial? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, nobody made an official ruling, but it's common knowledge that happened. It's like it got out that that's what happened. But I mean, she was at the end of her life and was dying from cancer and was suffering terribly. Her paramour, Maurice Templesman, talked about how badly she was suffering.
Yes, I remember that story.
So I do know that I've heard that. There's nothing official about that, but I mean,
I actually know people in the United Kingdom who have quietly been involved in this kind of arrangement. I have a friend who made it easy for her father to let himself go. She told me this in confidence, and that would very much have been against the law, in the sense that I don't think she did anything. I think she just didn't do anything when he was releasing him,
America had a doctor here called Jack Kevorkian, and they called him Dr. Death or whatever, that he helped. People would go to him to commit suicide, and he ended up being tried for murder, and I think he went to prison. He's no longer alive, but that whole debate's been going on for decades here.
Right.
I honestly do not think there are any states that allow
assisted suicide.
in the United.
Right. Okay.
However, However, it aided constantly and ongoing in the States just as it is in Britain. So I'm uncomfortable with letting government make those calls.
I understand.
I don't necessarily I don't necessarily want a doctor who prescribed medication to a patient who used it to kill themselves to go to prison. I'm against that, but do we need a law?
I understand.
Do we need a law for the doctor? So I don't know. But
Okay.
It has to be an individual decision.
Okay, Patricia, there's a lady or a man called This and That who says that they are going to try and call me on Messenger.
Yeah. Listening in. She says she just Googled it. She says there are 10 states in the United States that allow assisted suicide.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Medical aid in dying.
Right. Okay.
And it is legal.
Okay. In 10 states. Okay. There's someone called This and That. She says she's not on Facebook, but she is on Messenger, and she's going to try and reach me. I guess she won't be able to get through unless you and I disconnect. So I'm going to say goodbye, Patricia. Thank you very much for your contribution. And I've just, if you tune in next Friday, I've had an idea about how we can manage live discussions better in future. I will talk about it next week on, yeah. Thank you very much. Bye. And love to your sister and husband, please.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Okay, so I'm free now. Messenger is free if anybody else wants to have a go at calling me. I was saying maybe Patricia can still hear. If anybody else is listening, let me just say that there's something called Zoom. Well, I'm sure many of you have heard of Zoom. I use it all the time for work meetings with people who are in a different city, or even just in a different address in the same city, or of course, people who are in different countries. I use it for work. I use it for family chats with my sister and my son. I use it for, I've used it to watch things like weddings and funerals and lectures in places that I cannot get to physically. So I'm just thinking that maybe the next time we try a live stream, what we will do is just set it up as a Zoom call. Yeah, a multiple Zoom call. You know, I've been on Zoom calls like with, there's a fasting group, and they do these Zoom calls where if you wanted to ask the doctor about questions about fasting and weight loss, and sometimes, you know, there's like 100 people on the call, and everyone's in a little matchbox size box on the screen, and sometimes you can talk and sometimes you can't talk depending on how the whole thing is set up. I think that's how I'll do it the next time, if I have an opportunity to reconnect with those of you who would like to talk but are having difficulties being seen, or even just getting through on the phone or Messenger. So there's This and That just sent the UK number a FaceTime invite. Okay, thank you, This and That. I will have a look and see if I can get that. A FaceTime invite. I thought FaceTime was basically an Apple phone thing. Let me check. No, I cannot see it.
Check your FaceTime.
Let me go to the FaceTime app.
Just type FaceTime.
There we are. That's the FaceTime app. Create link. Could this be it? FaceTime video. There's a number starting with +971. Okay. So which one?
You can't call a number online.
Huh?
You can't call a number online. Security.
Oh, I see. Okay. me this and that. That's the name of the person. Can't get through. Maybe. Are you having difficulties getting through? Because I'm now in my FaceTime app on my Apple phone. And by the way, that only applies to people who have Apple phones. But I'm not seeing any action or any movement or anyone trying to get through to me. But I'm seeing a number that ends in 777. Okay. This is not working. Let's see. Okay, I've just seen the name of an old friend of mine. She's lurking. For me, I can see you. Do you want to contribute to this discussion or just listen in? Okay, well, this is very boring for the people who can't get through, who maybe even can't hear anything. And all I'm saying, instead of discussing the topic we came here to discuss, all I'm doing is complaining about the technology and trying to find out why people can't get through or whether they're trying or not trying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut this down and say, look, we're going to reconstitute this as a Zoom, a multiple Zoom call. And we'll all be able to see each other unless you cancel the video, because that's another thing. If we do a multiple Zoom, you don't have to show your face. You can if you want. So please bear with me. Forgive me for the shortcomings of today's discussion. Let me see if I can find a better way to connect with viewers when we have special topics we want to talk about. We definitely have to have one about Meghan and Harry, because Meghan and Harry is by far the most popular topic I've covered this year. And people have such strong feelings either way. Some, of course, like them. Others dislike the way they behave, as I do. And, I think we can have a series of discussions in future, but I need to get the technology right and figure out a better way of communicating with you. So thank you very much. I'm going to sign off now because it's not really working. And again, thank you to Patricia, who was one of the lucky few who managed to get through. Okay? I'm so sorry for anyone. I mean, there's a lady called Sassy Inspired. She's here to contribute. Not hearing anything. Okay, Sassy Inspired. We're going to do this again, and we'll do it better. Merry Christmas to anybody who does not watch Johnny's World between now and the end of the year. But, it will continue on Wednesdays and Fridays as normal. Wednesday is, of course, about self-improvement, weight loss, mental health, and all those things. Fridays is about general topics, and we'll figure out a better way of speaking to each other and not just listening to what I have to say on YouTube and then sending written comments. Take care, all of you. Thank you very, very, very much. And please go to my YouTube page and tell me in the comments whether you could hear anything, whether you tried to contribute but couldn't get through. I'd like to know what happened. Okay, take care. Bye.